In the dying minutes against FC Tulsa last time out, the vision and effort from Johnny Vial sets up Jackson Conway for the game winner. How does Game 3 in the three-game homestand work out? Let's all find out together as Memphis 901 visits Atlanta United 2. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus next. Time for some midweek action at the Fraction. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Atlanta United 2 chasing after their 6th win of the season, trying to keep Memphis 901 FC from locking up a berth in the Eastern Conference postseason as they hit Kennesaw with a record of 16-7-4. Alongside Jason Longshore, I am John Nelson. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so. And Jason, it's a chance for the two-stack spoiler once again.
Jack Collison was really pleased with the mentality against Tulsa, coming back after giving up an equalizer. Now they have to build on that and deliver another strong performance against Memphis tonight.
Let's take a look at the players in the spot shadow for the first 45 for Memphis 901. It's a familiar face.
Philip Goodrum was here with Atlanta United too, had some injury issues, delivered pretty well. He's blossomed in Memphis. 901 has only lost one game that Philip Goodrum has scored in this season. Atlanta United 2 has to be careful with his movement off the ball. So good at finding little pockets of space and punishing opponents.
14 goals, 3 assists on the season for number 10 for Memphis 901 FC. For Atlanta United 2, someone who had a very successful night last time out.
Jackson Conway with 2 goals against Tulsa gets named to the USL Championship Team of the Week, sets a club record for goals in a season. This was the first one, and watch his footwork. The header's back behind him just a little bit. We know about Jackson's power, but look at the footwork here to be able to hit the brakes, hit that volley off the ground, put it into a spot the goalkeeper can't get. Great goal from Jackson Conway.
When we come back, it's a look at starting lineups in the first 45. It's Memphis 901 FC visiting Atlanta United 2. The USL Championship in Kennesaw is around the corner. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare, to give you a better, seamless, more unified experience, so you can simply access and manage your care all in one place, with tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime, and even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont, real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. We'll get you ready for the first 45 here with Atlanta United 2 and Memphis 901 FC. We'll go through the officials and go through the starting 11s here for this match. Game 3 in a 3-game homestand for Atlanta United 2. Their next to last home game of the year. Let's start off with Memphis 901 FC. Jason Longshore, what do you see?
Two of the leading assisters in USL Championship. Aaron Malloy leads the league, playing out of the middle. And the interesting one is Jeremy Kelly, who was a fullback last season. Moving him up into the midfield, he has 8 assists, 18 assists between the two of them.
That is Memphis 901 FC to the flip side and the home side. What do you see for Jack Collison's bunch? Presented by our friends at Bader Scott Injury Lawyer.
Johnny Viall gets the start after a great substitute performance against Tulsa, where he created the match-winning goal for Jackson Conway. This is going to be very fluid. You could call it a 4-4-2 to start. I think it's going to turn into a 3-5-2 as Highmar and Brennan likely become wingbacks, and Viall sits underneath Conway and Traeger to try to create opportunities.
That's your starting 11s, and there's the man in the middle, Ricardo Fierro. We'll be paying attention to his whistle. The AR's Nicholas Balser and Austin Holt. Your fourth official tonight is Kyle Johnston. Atlanta United 2 in their dress blacks with the 5 stripes north and south. Memphis 901 in their white tops and white shorts with the blue numbers, and they're going to be working from left to right here in the first 45. Atlanta United 2 working from your right to your left. We'll get to Jason's keys coming up here in just a little bit. Alex DeJohn from Vicente Reyes.
DeJohn adds so much composure to the back line. They know they can play through him, but he's such a good focal point to build on for a very young team in front of him.
Mikey Ambrose trying to get around Laurent Kissiadou. Kissiadou last to touch. So Highmar will be there for the throw. Not happy with that particular select soccer ball, so he swaps it out for another one here in the first minute. Inside the 18 to DeJohn. Jeremy Kelly was there for pressure into the middle. Johnny Fortune over to Mikey Ambrose on the left. Jackson Conway looking for Highmar. Goes over the touchline. It'll be a throw for Memphis 901 FC. And there's a look at Jacko right there. Memphis 901 trying to work down the right-hand side. Jonathan Viall there to pester defensively. Looking for Kelly. Bryce Washington gets there first. Touch to Luke Brennan. Fortune gets away from 2 Memphis 901 players to keep possession for the Stripes. Reyes looking for Brennan. And it will be a throw for Memphis 901 FC.
Defensively, it's a little bit of a hybrid on that right side with Brennan, who will push high as much as he can. Washington has played right back. He's also played center back. So they'll adjust as they need to in the match.
Segrist tries to keep possession around Tristan Traeger. Last touch by Memphis 901. Bryce Washington working quickly. DeJohn looking for Highmar. Highmar can't get there in time. It'll be a throw for Memphis 901 here halfway through the 3rd minute.
And miss hit there by DeJohn. Atlanta has to defend.
Mikey Ambrose with possession to Johnny Fortune looking for Viall. The back and forth continues. Dotson will throw for Memphis 901.
Neither team's really been able to get control of this one in the early going.
Looking for Goodrum, finds Goodrum. And Dwala Buana down the right-hand side tries to go inside the 18, bumped off the ball by Efren Morales. It'll be a corner for Memphis 901 here as we enter the 4th minute.
Good recovery by Morales, but the header from Goodrum down the right side to Buana. Excellent work for Goodrum. Talk about his 14 goals this season, but he is a complete forward who brings others into the play as well.
Aaron Malloy wearing the captain's armband tonight. He will take the corner. It will be an outswinger with the right. Toward the top of the 6th, headed down by Goodrum through the goal mouth. Chasing after it, Bryce Washington, and he'll clear.
A little dicey there for Atlanta United too, but they handle it. Washington with the clearance. Now they get to reset.
Segrist. Into Buana with the throw. And Segrist will send it all the way back to Graham Smith. Looking big switch. Highmar watches it go out. It'll be a throw for the 2s. Highmar working quickly. looking for Vial. Memphis 901 defense is there. Kelly now center circle. Has reinforcements to his right. Fortune trying to work him off the ball. Inside the 18, Luke Brennan now with possession, and he's got a little bit of room.
Good defensive work from Mikey Ambrose to stop that advancement from Kelly.
Memphis 901 closes down on Morales. It was Handwalla Buana. He has possession again, gives to Kisiadu in the middle. Derek Dotson. Highmar closes. Kisiadu and Dotson on the 1-2. Chris Allen trying to fight Efren Morales for possession to keep it for Memphis 901. He does. Segrist now on the left. Works it all the way over to the touchline. Chris Allen swings it in with the left toward the top of the 6. Chested outside the 18 by Mikey Ambrose. Fortune clears. Traeger fighting with Graham Smith briefly, but here comes 901 again with Dotson. Alex DeJohn closing nicely for Atlanta United too. He's got some room and reinforcements, but he ends up hitting Jeremy Kelly with it instead. Sorry, Graham Smith with it instead. And here comes Memphis 901 again.
It was a shout for a handball, but Atlanta didn't get it. They recover.
Morales can't keep possession. Chris Allen with it now for Memphis 901. Frantic heading both ways so far. Most of it in the Atlanta United 2 half here in the first 6 minutes. Dotson and Handwalla Buana. Into the middle to Chris Allen. Over on the left to Segrist. Works around Luke Brennan. Give and go. Segrist tries to go inside the 18. Alex DeJohn's there. Push in the back. And you're going to get a foul there on Smith. Graham Smith with the whistle on Jackson Conway.
While we have a minute, let's take a look at the keys to the match between Memphis and Atlanta United 2. For Memphis, they're coming in 3 games without a win, a little shaken up. They've got to get the sides working. Jeremy Kelly, Handwalla Buana, Laurent Kisiadu when he drifts wide. Those guys have to open up space for Memphis in the attack. And here comes Atlanta making an attack themselves.
Tristan Traeger cuts it inside the 18. Wants to set up the right. He does. Parried away by Trey Muse. First big save on the board.
Huge save from Muse. 25th game of the season. He has 6 clean sheets. Good hands as he pushes that one wide. The Loney from Loudoun United. Traeger splits 2 with that cutback, beats a third, and puts that on frame. It's a great run from Tristan Traeger.
Throw by Highmar, looking toward the top of the 6th, headed up into the air. Bryce Washington wins second ball. Fight for third ball, and cleared by Memphis 901. Alex DeJohn over his head. Looks like he'll get there before Philip Goodrum, and he'll go all the way back to Vicente Reyes. Back and forth with Reyes and DeJohn. He's got Bryce Washington to his right. Decides to charge up the channel instead. Too much for Traeger. And we're going to get a foul on Memphis 901.
Yeah, a little bit of a push on Goodrum there as DeJohn was just allowing everyone to reset. Going back to those keys on the Atlanta side, it's all about the back-to-back performances. They have to be able to string them together. Traeger working on it here.
Brennan looking toward the penalty spot. Knocked away outside of the 18 by Memphis 901. Step overs by Brennan, looking inside the 18 for a partner. Over the top to Jackson Conway. Tracks it down just in time. Gets it through Kisiadu to Jonathan Vial. Vial with the left over Traeger. Brennan tried to crash. Out of the 18 by Memphis 901. And there's Philip Goodrum with possession for the visitors. Kisiadu. Back to Dotson. And Handwalla Buana. Had some time with Nashville SC early in the season. Had some Open Cup duty with them.
On loan here after the move from Seattle to Nashville in 2020.
Flicked forward, but Alex DeJohn is there for Atlanta United 2. Philip Goodrum tries to get in with the slide tackle. Back to Reyes. And the Twos will try it again. Reyes working forward.
DeJohn understands the philosophy of the club. It's all about building out of the back and doing it cleanly. Reyes skips the lines this time. Picks out Highmar in the corner.
Great first touch to keep possession by Highmar. Highmar finds Jonathan Vial. Johnny Fortune calling for it in the middle. Vial back to Mikey Ambrose instead. Working past Chris Allen. Highmar in toward the top of the 6th. Through and past everybody and Luke Brennan. There'll be a goal kick for Memphis 9:01 early in the 10th minute.
When you show that focus to build out of the back, as we've seen from Dijon, from Reyes, from Mikey Ambrose, when you do that enough, you then open up the long ball over the top. And Dijon and Ambrose and Reyes are all capable of hitting that as well. But you have to show that commitment to building out of the back to create the space to be able to hit the ball over the top.
Trey Muse sending everyone forward. Into the air down the right-hand side. Buana first touch. Kelly. Dijon will backtrack, getting it away from Handwalla Buana this time. Mikey Ambrose is there. Highmar past Kisiadu. And a throw from Memphis 9:01 in the attacking half. And Alex Dijon is down. Working that right knee with some flex. Physio's not out yet. Walking a little gingerly right now.
Gave it the thumbs up, though. He didn't want the trainer to come on to where he would have to step off the pitch.
Patrick Segrist for Memphis 9:01. Down the left-hand side with Buana. Centrally, Kisiadu now to Chris Allen. To Dotson on the right-hand side. Toward the top of the 6th, headed out by Dijon. Allen regains possession. And the back and forth with Malloy. Kisiadu tries to get away from Mikey Ambrose. Gains possession again. Kelly centrally. Kisiadu over to the left and Segrist now. Back to Smith. Back to Laurent Kisiadu, center circle. Halfway through the 12th minute here in Kennesaw, no score. Atlanta United 2 and Memphis 9:01. Segrist looking for Buana, finds him just outside the 6. Well defended by Bryce Washington. It'll be a corner for Memphis 9:01.
It's an incredible recovery from Bryce Washington because I thought he had taken up the wrong angle on Handwalla Buana and allowed Buana to get in behind, but Washington was able to beat him to the end line, block that out for the corner.
Aaron Malloy will take.
7 of his 10 assists have come from set pieces. Such a dangerous player in these moments.
In swinger with the right, looking far post. Well commanded there by Vicente Reyes.
Reyes had to be careful there. Multiple Memphis players surrounding him. He can't afford to give up a rebound. Good hands.
Back and forth with Bryce Washington. Philip Goodrum in pursuit. Over to Mikey Ambrose on the left. Vial, Highmar back and forth. Jackson Conway back to Morales. Johnny Fortune to Bryce Washington on the right. A couple of peeks, gives to Fortune. Luke Brennan had to extend a little too much. Back to Memphis 9:01 and Segrist all the way back to Muse. Dijon wins the first ball. Gave to Fortune, but here comes Memphis 9:01. Memphis 9:01 called for an infraction, and we'll go all the way back to Bryce Washington. Washington goes all the way back to Vicente Reyes. And Alex Dijon, the back and forth continues there. Surveys, works, looking for Tristan Traeger. Big hop. Traeger fights for it, Reese Buckmaster is there for Memphis 901 to gain possession inside the 18.
Strong defending from Memphis. Traeger just couldn't find that physicality, but no foul.
Kelly into the middle to Malloy. Vial chasing after him. Dotson on the right. Vial closed again. Inside the 18, Goodrum to John. Well done to defend there. Another corner for Memphis 901.
It's a great ball from Aaron Malloy. Gets the run from Goodrum, but DeJohn had it tracked well, had the shot, had the angle covered well.
There's your look at Philip Goodrum and Walla Buana. All kind of congregating toward the penalty spot. We'll see what Malloy has in mind here. Once again, outswinger with the right toward the penalty spot. Bryce Washington's there first for Atlanta United 2. Jeremy Kelly, through ball, finds Segrist. Segrist charges inside the 18, deflected once and wide. Chance for Memphis 901 for the first goal on the board, headed to the 16th minute.
Great ball up the line to pick out Segrist, and Derek Dodson has a huge opportunity that he just pushes back where it came from, pushed it well wide, got lucky with a deflection, and it's another corner for Memphis.
Third corner early for Memphis 901 FC here early in the 16th minute.
Dodson, a converted forward, playing right back. Thought he would put that on frame.
In swinger with the right, looking far post. Looked like Highmar got there first out for Atlanta United 2 to get it outside the 18. Cycled back in, up and headed over the bar that time by Graham Smith.
Graham Smith's a big target on that recycled set piece. That's one where you have to be a little aware of who's bringing that back into play. Jackson Conway has to step out tighter on Jeremy Kelly and not give him such a clean look at being able to pick out Smith on the back post.
Morales back to Reyes. Over to Mikey Ambrose on the left-hand side. Kisidu trying to keep an eye on Mikey Ambrose if I can figure out where the ball was going. Fortune now and Highmar charging up the touchline. Dotson slows that track down, but it'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2. Couple of false starts here by Highmar, trying to throw the ball in over Johnny Vial. Second ball, Traeger. Allen comes down with it for Memphis 901, spins away from Tristan Traeger to keep possession. Buckmaster at the back. Now here's Segrist. He's got Kelly ahead of him. Gives to Malloy instead to his right. Malloy will go long from one side to the other to find Dotson. Kisiadu nicely flicked. Here comes Dotson inside the 18 with the ball, and Alex DeJohn once again is there for the twos to send it away.
See how dangerous Memphis can be in the attack. It's a perfect switch from Malloy over to the right side in a 2v1.
And Walla Buana with the spin and just wide with the right.
Atlanta on their heels in the early going. Haven't been able to get much possession. Haven't been able to keep Memphis out of dangerous spots. And Buana, on his own, almost makes a goal by himself.
Finding Jackson Conway, Vicente Reyes. Looking to switch to Luke Brennan from the right-hand side. Hit Chris Allen on the way through. And here comes Memphis in 901 again. Kelly pushes it forward to Philip Goodrum. Alex DeJohn is there. Goodrum cuts to the inside. Goodrum can't keep possession, but here comes Johnny Vial for Atlanta United 2. Looking to spring Tristan Traeger, can't quite do it. Here comes Memphis 901 again.
Traeger might have been offside if that had found him.
Looking for Kelly. Bryce Washington is there. It'll be a throw deep in the corner for Memphis 901 here in the 19th minute.
Game very stretched out. We've seen Atlanta United 2 generally want to have the ball in matches. Tonight they're not getting it. They're looking dangerous on the counterattack opportunities, though. It's down to the quality of Johnny Vial. Great playmaking ability from the Atlanta United Academy product.
Segrist. Jeremy Kelly. Back to Malloy. And all the way back to Graham Smith, Reese Buckmaster, and Dotson. Dotson back to Buckmaster, who has to retreat, and he'll get it all the way back to Trey Muse. Up the middle, Johnny Vial closes down. Chance here for Atlanta United 2. Jackson Conway right on Trey Muse with the save.
Good pressure from the two forwards, Traeger and Conway, and then Vial picking up the loose pass from Trey Muse, giving it right back to Conway. Doesn't quite get a ton of it.
Highmar tries to get away from Laurent Kissiadou. He does, but the pass ends up in the opposition's hands. Up and over looking for Kelly. Flag stays down. Luke Brennan closes. Kelly wanted to wind and fire with the right. Brennan was there. Blocked, and here comes Kissiadou again. Kissiadou finds Segrist. Segrist to Malloy. All the way over to Dotson on the right. Kissiadou keeps possession. Give to Chris Allen. Dotson. And Wallabwana. Back to Buckmaster. Morales was there. Up into the air by Highmar to keep it in. Jackson Conway fighting with Buckmaster and Chris Allen, but Buana comes away with it for Memphis 901.
Nice recognition from Buana. He knows that Conway is going to be in trouble when he brings that down. Just wait for the first touch. Take it then.
Muse was looking for Goodrum. Mikey Ambrose was there. And Memphis 901 back in possession. Dotson here near center line. Alex DeJohn there defending once again, keeping a strong eye on Philip Goodrum. It'll be a throw for the visitors once again here late in the 21st minute. Goodrum to Kissiadou. Kissiadou thought about it, pulled it back. Johnny Fortune there to defend for Atlanta United 2. It'll be a throw once again for Memphis 901.
Last two times Philip Goodrum has had the ball. Again, a lot of the talk about Goodrum is the 14 goals, but it's his playmaking ability. He can bring others into the play. Created an opportunity for Kelly with a long ball. Good pass there down the line. Philip Goodrum is having himself a career year, and it's not just about the goals that he scored.
Highmar, Traeger, and Efren Morales. Back to Highmar as Dotson was closing, all the way back to Mikey Ambrose and Vicente Reyes. Fortune on the turn. Ambrose back to Reyes one more time. Luke Brennan tries to close it down, can't quite keep possession. Segrist is there for Memphis 901. Well done by Luke Brennan to gain possession back for the home side.
Hard work of Luke Brennan, not able to keep the first one, but he didn't throw his hands in the air and get frustrated. Fought back to win it.
Johnny Vial trying to work his way around Dotson. Dotson stands him up, gains possession, give to Buckmaster. Dotson again, Highmar faces him. Up into the air off the deflection. Mikey Ambrose won it, but it will be a throw for Memphis 901.
Jack Collison's been very vocal, wanting his team to close things down quicker, recognize those opportunities that Memphis is picking out with their passes, and not let Memphis build and not let them have clean looks.
Goodrum back to Dotson. Dotson forward to Jeremy Kelly. Too much for Kissiadou, and Highmar will watch it go. Throw for Atlanta United 2. Mikey Ambrose back to Vicente Reyes. Up the middle to Efren Morales. Morales finds Highmar. Highmar over the top looking for Johnny Vial. Trey Muse has to close it down, but the flag is up offside for the Twos.
Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+. The home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com.
Couple of other games tonight in USL Championship. We'll give you a look at the rest of the schedule coming up at halftime, but the big game on the board is the U.S. Open Cup final involving Sacramento Republic and Orlando City. We'll keep you posted on that one as well once the game is underway at a sold-out Exploria Stadium in Central Florida. Dotson and Buana playing catch. Kisiadu. Chris Allen lets him keep possession. Kelly. He'll go back to Graham Smith. Smith looking and anticipating well was Highmar. Johnny Vial. Can Tristan Traeger get there first? Yes, he can. Inside the 18, Jackson Conway sprinting and defended well by Memphis. 901, Reese Buckmaster was there.
Defended well might not be the best way to put it. I want to get another look at that. I think Buckmaster nearly put it into his own goal, and Muse had to make a play. What a ball from Vial. Yeah, I think Muse might have gotten a touch on that. We'll get a better look here. Ooh, that's really close. But what a ball from Johnny Vial to play that into a spot that only Tristan Traeger can run down. Memphis has to concede the corner. We'll see what Atlanta United 2 can make of it.
Highmar with the left. It'll be an outswinger. A lot of five stripes inside the 6. Looking for Efren Morales. Tracking it down, Mikey Ambrose. He'll get there ahead of Hendwala Buana. Morales poked away by Kelly, and here comes Memphis 901. Rush down the right. Goodrum plays it forward to Chris Allen. Jonathan Vial in hot pursuit, tracking it down, tug on the jersey. Luke Brennan was there to defend. Efren Morales to defend there as well. It's going to be a corner for the visitors here late in the 26th.
Those are the moments that you see the age and experience level of Johnny Vial just a little bit. Atlanta United with numbers up on the corner. It gets past Highmar, and there's no one to cover that space. Vial just a little late to recognize it, and it wasn't able to prevent Allen from impacting the play. Vial maybe a little lucky not to concede a foul as well.
Malloy, hand in the air, outswinger with the right. Alex DeJohn heads it away and out of the 18.
Those are the big lessons for a player like Johnny Vial, who's such a creative, attacking player. There's moments where you have to defend and do it the right way.
Jeremy Kelly. Kisiadu. He's got Siegrist to his left. That's where he goes. Siegrist toward the penalty spot, and Buana missed the opportunity for Memphis 901.
Ooh, put on a platter for Hendwala Buana. You see the look on his face. That's one that you have to put in the back of the net. Well worked by Memphis down the left as Atlanta's completely stretched out. DeJohn tried to close down the angle to prevent the cross from coming in, but Buana wide open at the top of the 6, put it over the bar.
Well sought out was Tristan Traeger, chested it down. He'll regain possession for Atlanta United 2, heading towards center circle. Johnny Fortune with Chris Allen there with him, hands to Luke Brennan. Bryce Washington back and forth with Morales. Philip Goodrum there to defend, all the way over to Alex DeJohn now with a lot of room. Mikey Ambrose to Fortune. DeJohn takes a look, and he'll go back to Vicente Reyes with Washington there as reinforcements. Bryce Washington looking down the left, looking for and finding Highmar.
Outstanding ball.
Traeger spins away from Dotson, leaves for Highmar, up and over everyone. Looks like Brennan will track it down outside the 18 for Atlanta United 2. Luke Brennan on the charge. Cuts it back, looking for Vial. Memphis 901 is there in defense. But Alex DeJohn is there for Atlanta United 2 to try to keep possession. Luke Brennan, well done there to keep possession for Atlanta United 2. Malloy fighting with him, and it's going to be a foul.
Nice strong work from Brennan. He dribbled into a double team, but again, he recovers so well to help win it back.
Laurent Kisiadu with the interception. As Mikey Ambrose was looking for Highmar. 10 yards worth of step overs, brings it centrally. Malloy will keep possession over at the far touchline. Back to Jeremy Kelly. Return to Kisiadu. Dotson. Highmar closes. Dotson back to Chris Allen. Vial is there with him. Back to Graham Smith. Over to Segrist on the left. Segrist and Kelly, two-man game. Well done there. Well defended there by Efren Morales. It's going to be yet another corner for Memphis. 9:01 here halfway through the 30th minute.
Jack Collison can't be happy with conceding so many corners to Memphis. They haven't been hurt by it just yet, but you know the quality that Aaron Malloy brings in these situations. And also the targets. Philip Goodrum strong in the air, but Graham Smith is a handful at 6'3". See how Atlanta defends this.
Malloy. In swinger with the right. Alex DeJohn there once again for Atlanta United 2. Big hop. Kelly pops it up into the air. Vicente Reyes is there.
DeJohn's not the tallest player, but he's one of Atlanta United's best in the air across the club because of that fight that he has. He's going to go up and attack the ball in the air every single time.
Vial to Luke Brennan. Johnny Fortune Morales and Mikey Ambrose. Leads Highmar. Dotson there for Memphis. 9:01. Highmar looking for Jackson Conway. Header over the end line. It'll be a goal kick.
Service not quite there for Jackson Conway tonight. They're not giving him opportunities to really test Trey Muse. That cross just a little behind him. Fortunate to get anything on it, but can't put that on frame to trouble Muse.
Malloy. Reese Buckmaster. Just away from Philip Goodrum. Back to Reyes. Goodrum tries to close the distance, but Reyes found Jackson Conway. Well defended there by the visitors, and here comes Kelly once again. Johnny Fortune, you're going to get a foul on the twos.
Savvy from Kelly. It's a heavy touch by Jeremy Kelly, but he knows that he can find a little bit of contact there to earn the free kick. The heavy touch, I think, was first, and then it's finding the bailout. Jeremy Kelly does it. A couple of years with the Colorado Rapids. Played in college at UNC. He's born in Prague, but grew up in North Carolina. And the conversion of a defender to an attacker in Jeremy Kelly has been one of the interesting stories for Memphis this season.
So Aaron Malloy from about 24, say, maybe closer to 25, just outside of 25. Tries to scoop it over the wall, tracked down, and it goes to Goodrum. Goodrum into the turf, but Vicente Reyes is there.
Look at the creativity from Aaron Malloy, trying to catch everyone by surprise.
Ambrose with Kisiadu there with him. To DeJohn. Reyes to Bryce Washington. Luke Brennan. Double team closes back to Bryce. All the way back to Reyes again. Johnny Fortune back to help out with three Memphis 901 players there. Trouble for Reyes. He finally sends it with the right towards center circle. Reese Buckmaster can't control it, but Dotson is there to keep possession for the visitors and Malloy.
Good work by Reyes to get out of trouble and not give it away in his own half.
Segrist gets it back from Jeremy Kelly. Philip Goodrum. Centrally, Kelly. Morales tries to close. And a foul on Efren Morales. And it looks like a card for Efren Morales as well.
Second foul from Morales on Kelly in a very short period of time. Gets the yellow card. Just got caught a little flat this time as the ball's played across and Morales trying to recover the space. as a central midfielder. He got sucked into the back line just a little bit too much there, and then a little too aggressive trying to get back to the spot.
8th yellow on the season for Efren Morales. It's Jack Collison. Smile on his face as he's pacing. So let's see what the imagination of Aaron Malloy has this time. He's a part of it. Buana is a part of it. Malloy parried away, nicely sent out of the 6 by Vicente Reyes.
Malloy has a goal off a free kick from earlier this year in March. Reyes, the footwork to come across and make that save a little more comfortable. That's what Vicente Reyes brings to the table. Organize the wall well, but he gets across to where he's not reaching just to get there. He can direct the save, not give up a rebound in front.
Another corner for Memphis 901 FC here in the first 35 minutes. Once again, Malloy an outswinger with the right. Players down inside the 6.
Ball was not in play yet before the whistle was blown. 2 players went down in a collision.
Hey guys. Hey boys, can we get a ball? Can I have one of the balls?
So Ricardo Fierro having a discussion. Johnny Fortune is there, along with Highmar and Laurent Kissiadou. So we'll reset and try it again. Malloy. Chipped in by Kelly, headed down, through, up into the air. Chance by Allen, saved and headed into the back of the net on the rebound. Philip Goodrum.
You keep giving Memphis set piece opportunities and they will find the back of the net. Aaron Malloy delivers it so many different ways. It's not the same corner every single time. This one's a little creative. It's popped back across, headed across. Fortune got a boot to it, but couldn't clear. Reyes with an outstanding save through traffic, but all he can do is get a hand to it. Mikey Ambrose couldn't quite find it after the initial shot, and Philip Goodrum's the first one to it with his 15th goal of the season.
36th minute, Philip Goodrum with the goal. The visitors on the board. Coming into this match, they had not won in their last 3. They had a draw with Orange County, then losses to Loudoun United and Birmingham Legion. There's Ben Pierman, the head coach of Memphis 901. And they're chasing after that playoff berth in the Eastern Conference.
A result tonight will put Memphis into the playoffs for back-to-back seasons. This is the best season that Memphis 901 has ever had. They want to go ahead and get that 3rd playoff spot in the East.
Bryce Washington looking for Traeger and Luke Brennan. The back and forth continues. Nice piece of work there by Johnny Fortune to get around Kelly. Luke Brennan with it now. Brennan wanted to lead and leave for a Johnny Fortune. It'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, it's not on the same page at the end of that Atlanta United 2. Good work by Fortune and Brennan to get to that point. But then the wires got crossed at the end.
There's your 17s here tonight. This is the next to last home game for Atlanta United 2 this season. It's going to be another couple of weeks. But in 3 weeks' time, the last home match of the season up against Indy 11 here. We'll go over the rest of the schedule before we go off the air tonight. But a lot of it's going to be on the road from between now and the end of the season. Mikey Ambrose last to touch as he was trying to keep Laurent Kissiadou from possession for Memphis 901.
A little surprised that's not a foul, as Mikey Ambrose was undercut by Kissiadou. typically we're seeing those kind of situations called because it puts Ambrose in a really tough spot, potentially dangerous.
Dotson found Kissy-Adu. Memphis 901 with possession again. Segrist. Touched by Kissy-Adu, but it heads straight to Vicente Reyes. DeJohn finds Jonathan Viall. Too much for Luke Brennan. So it's a throw for Memphis 901 here. 40th minute in Kennesaw. Alongside Jason Longshore, I'm John Nelson. Thanks for hanging out with us here tonight for the USL Championship on ESPN+. We're going to get a handball call on Tristan Traeger.
Hughes was bailed out a little bit there because he played it right into Traeger. Couldn't tell if Traeger put his hand up to cover his face. I think that's what Johnny Fortune's talking about a little bit there. What's he supposed to do? Johnny Fortune took over the captain's armband when Robbie Mertz moved to Pittsburgh. Learning the finer arts of dealing with referees. Part of the captain's job.
Ricardo Fierro in the middle tonight. Trey Muse into the air. Mikey Ambrose wins the first ball. Morales won the second ball, but here comes Memphis 901. Goodrum sends it wide.
Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice.
About 4.5 minutes plus any added time here in the first 45. Goal by Philip Goodrum a couple of minutes ago. Memphis 901 FC with a lead on the road here against Atlanta United 2. Luke Brennan trying to work his way up the right. Last to touch was Jeremy Kelly, who was there defending for the visitors. Throw for Atlanta United 2. Morales plays it back to Vicente Reyes. Looking long for Highmar. Too much ends up in the hands of Ben Pierman. So a throw for Memphis 901. Back to Muse. Looking for Goodrum. Alex DeJohn will get there after first touch. Morales giveaway. Goodrum couldn't quite keep control. Alex DeJohn nicely done to recover for the twos.
Good rescue job from DeJohn because Goodrum was played in by Morales inadvertently.
Bryce Washington, Fortune, Jackson Conway. And he'll end up with Trey Muse again. Muse in his 25th start on the season. He's been the main keeper for Memphis 901 this year. Receives the ball from Chris Allen. Muse looking for Goodrum again. DeJohn and Bryce Washington are there. DeJohn gets it after first touch. Back to Vicente Reyes again. That'll be a throw for Memphis 901 here halfway through the 43rd. Segrist into Kelly in the middle. Johnny Fortune chasing over to Dotson on the right-hand side. Highmar in pursuit. Dotson past Highmar, chipped toward top of the sixth, and in the net for goal number 2 for Memphis 901. Two goals in 7 minutes for the visitors. And just before the half, Memphis 901 FC leads Atlanta United 2 by the score of 2-0.
Jeremy Kelly starts this sequence dribbling across, finding Dodson on the right. And then what a header from Philip Goodrum. That's an outstanding header coming across, getting over it, heading it down into the ground. No chance for Vicente Reyes to get there. Goodrum cut inside, as he recognized where that cross from Dodson was going to end up. Got to it first. Outstanding play from Philip Goodrum tonight. He's got 16 goals on the season.
2 goals in 8 minutes apart for Memphis 901. And they are 2 to the good as they are in the chase in the Eastern Conference. Looks like we might have 1 minute added here. Reyes long, big hop Trey Muse will let it go, goal kick. Reyes was looking for Traeger and Jackson Conway. Took 2 big hops, and it ends up with Trey Muse here with about 40 seconds plus the minute that we're anticipating getting added.
It's been a complete performance from Memphis. They're not allowing Atlanta United to build up the play out of the back, so Atlanta has to play long typically. Memphis is okay with that. And then this attack with some interesting pieces in spots like Jeremy Kelly coming off the left, likes to dribble inside. That creates space for Siegrist to attack on the flank, but it also creates overload situations. That man Dodson, a former forward playing as a right back, he gets into the final third. He's right at home. And then Philip Goodrum just doing what Philip Goodrum has done all season long, scoring goals, but facilitating the whole attack as well. Just a complete performance from Memphis 901 in the first 45.
1 minute added as we thought. One last push by Memphis 901 FC here perhaps in the first 45. Chris Allen will get there. Looking to his left, and he'll find Jeremy Kelly. Kelly, past Luke Brennan, keeps his feet to Siegrist on the left. Bryce Washington, well done there to get possession for Atlanta United too, but it ends back with Chris Allen, Kelly again, and Hendwala Bwana.
Memphis doesn't stop when the ball transitions. They immediately turn into 2 defenders and win it back.
There's another example of that. Malloy to Allen. Saw Siegrist. That's where he goes to his left. Around Brennan. Allen looking far post, up, over, and through. It'll be a goal kick, and we are past the 1 minute. So we'll see what Ricardo Fierro will do when he looks to his watch. Up into the air by Reyes. And a foul by Malloy on Jackson Conway.
Probably last opportunity here for Atlanta. Gonna have to go fast.
They do exactly that. Brennan back to Jonathan Viall. Brennan surveys over Kelly's shoulder to Morales. And that'll do it for the first 45.
Yeah, they didn't go fast. He played it sideways. You have no time at that point. You got to put it into the 18, see what you can find.
First 45 in the books, 2 goals by Philip Goodrum, 8 minutes apart, and that has been the difference. Goals 15 and 16 on the year. When we come back to Kennesaw, we'll take the tour of the USL Championship, let you know what's going on, all the news that you need to know, and there's your scoreline from 5th third. Memphis 2 to the good after the first 45. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Stick and stay. We'll return to Kennesaw after this.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw Memphis 901 FC. 2 goals to the good. They lead Atlanta United 2-0 after the first 45. Let's take the tour around USL Championship and let you know where things stand. We'll start off with Team of the Week, presented by our friends at Konami eFootball. And Player of the Week is Stefano Pino from Indy 11. We'll get into his numbers in just a little bit with his efforts on the week. On the Eastern Conference side, Luis Zamudio is your Keeper of the Week. Amadou Dia representing Lou City is there. Jordan Scarlett on your back line for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Romario Piggott for Charleston Battery, a rare appearance for the Battery this season in Team of the Week with their 3-0 win over New York Red Bulls 2. Leo Fernandez, no surprise to see him there in the midfield for Tampa Bay Rowdies. Stefano Pino, once again, both goals as Indy took a 2-1 victory against Lou City in their rivalry in the midweek. And a familiar face down there at the bottom of the list, Jackson Conway, for what he did in scoring both goals in the 2-1 win against FC Tulsa. Let's take a look at the standings in the East. This is your playoff chase. Top 7 make it into the playoffs, and this is heading into tonight. Lou City, 4 points clear of Tampa Bay. Memphis, 901. You see where they are. That group of really 2 through 5 interchangeable. You have a hot week or a hot 2, you can go from 5 to 2 in a hurry, or if you have a bad week, you can go from 2 to 5 in a hurry. Tampa Bay 3 points ahead of Pittsburgh and Birmingham. Memphis right there at 52 points. The Miami FC is at 6th with 44 points, but they're fighting Detroit City in the battle for 6 and 7. FC Tulsa right now with 6 matches to go. They have 9 points to make up. That is a tall task if they can do it. In the West, San Antonio has clinched a playoff spot. They're at 60 points. San Diego Loyal has had some hiccups of late. They are now 8 points behind San Antonio, and here come the Switchbacks. 1 point behind them as they're chasing that second spot. Then that group from 4 through 8. Sacramento playing tonight. They are scoreless in the 20th minute in the U.S. Open Cup final against Orlando City. New Mexico United a point behind. El Paso Locomotive 2 points behind them. Vegas Lights and L.A. Galaxy 2 right now. They're fighting for the 7 spot at 37 and 36 points respectively. That is a little bit of what is going on here in the USL Championship. Here's a little bit more info about what's going on in the league.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. Mother Nature is still keeping an eye on us from about 250,000 miles away. Memphis 901 with a 2-0 lead over Atlanta United 2. Let's take you around USL Championship, and I'll let you know what else is going on. News and notes across the league. Jackson Conway, with the 2 goals he had last time out against FC Tulsa, sets a new club record with 10. But he now becomes also the 7th player to score double-digit goals in the USL Championship under the age of 21. High cotton there for Jackson Conway. If you haven't heard, there's going to be there's a plan in place for a new USL Championship team to be in Jacksonville, Florida in time for the 2025 season. A lot of executives that have ties to previous successes and franchises in USL Championship are there, but Tim Tebow is part of a prospective soccer ownership group now in Jacksonville as well. They're going to be looking for a spot for a 15,000-seat stadium down the line for 2025. And by the way, USL is all for Republic. U.S. Open Cup final going on as we speak, still goalless in the early 23rd minute, with the Sacramento Republic taking on Orlando City at Exploria Stadium in Central Florida. You can show your support all night long for Sacramento Republic using the hashtag #AllForRepublic on social media, and watch the match on another screen along with ours on ESPN+. Let's take a look at the scores of note from the past weekend to get you into the midweek. Sacramento Republic, they had to play in the midweek. Orlando City did not in Major League Soccer, losing to Lou City by the score of 3-1. Monterey Bay, we talked about where San Diego Loyal's been struggling a bit, losing to Monterey Bay in the West 3-1. Orange County SC, Memphis 901. That was the 3rd one in a row that Memphis 901 had not gotten a win. Switchbacks, remember we saw them closing ground in the Western Conference standings. There's their win over Phoenix Rising, San Antonio over the Roots, and Pittsburgh Riverhounds knocking off Loudoun United in the East. Let's take a peek at the TV schedule and what is coming up around the corner. FC Tulsa taking on Lou City tonight. That is coming up at 8:30. You've got El Paso and RGV, Monterey Bay and Orange County. Also around the corner, a couple days' time, Red Bulls 2 and the Miami FC and Indy 11 and Birmingham Legion. Just a couple of key games here in the East and West in the USL Championship. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the second 45, take you around all the information that you need to know as we get you ready with Memphis 2 goals to the good here in Kennesaw. It's the USL Championship on ESPN+. Stick and stay. More when we come back.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. 17's here. getting ready for the second 45, as are we. So let's take you through the first 45 minutes with Memphis 2 goals on the board. Atlanta United 2 will be chasing, and we bring Jason Longshore back in, and Trey Muse was busy early.
Big save on Tristan Traeger. Long ball from Vicente Reyes. Traeger on the dribble. Jackson Conway nearly got on the end of another long ball over the top. A little creativity from Aaron Malloy trying to find Goodrum to open the scoring. Malloy went for it himself that time, and Vicente Reyes was up to the challenge. This was the first goal for Memphis in the 36th minute. Atlanta could not clear a set piece. Goodrum ends up finding it. This is a very well-worked second goal. Look at that header from Philip Goodrum coming across, getting inside of Bryce Washington. Diving header, but he gets it down to the ground. Reyes, no opportunity. You look at the stats, 14-3 on shots. At least Atlanta United 2 has been efficient with their shots on target, 2 out of 3, forcing a save from Trey Muse. Vicente Reyes has made 3 saves. Possession to Memphis. One of the big things in the numbers, as I was looking a little bit deeper into them, passes in the opposition half. Memphis has almost 3 times as many as Atlanta United 2. Passes in the final third, they have more than 3 times as many passes. They've created 3 big chances. They have 2 goals. Atlanta has to find a way to be more dangerous in the second half.
So let's revisit your keys that you had coming into this particular match. And we look at those 4 phrases. What comes to mind now?
Well, Memphis has shaken off the last 3 games where they haven't been able to find a win. They've looked great. They've been in command all night long. They have used the flanks as well, and Derek Dodson has been a big part of getting forward on the right side to join that portion of the team. But Jeremy Kelly on the left, cutting inside, just creating mismatches consistently. It's been a huge problem. Mentioned how Atlanta United 2 needed to string together good performances. So far, they have not done that. They had a great performance for 90 minutes against Tulsa. They haven't hit that standard yet tonight. We'll see if the next 45 gets us back to that level. And in paying the dues, it's something that came up a couple of times in that first half. Atlanta United, very young team, many academy players or very early professionals in their career. Moments like that one where Vial had to drop and defend, those are things that you have to recognize. Morales getting sucked into the defense a little bit, needs to step out and maintain his position. Those are the next steps in paying dues for young players, recognizing situations, not relying on the bench to call it out, seeing it happen first and being able to deal with it quicker. It's something that we've seen Alex DeJohn and Mikey Ambrose do in the back line as seasoned professionals. You want to see the young Atlanta United 2 players do more of that. I think Luke Brennan is one who has shown a lot of that recognition in key moments. He's learned a lot this season.
So here in the second 45, as you are watching, the whistle blows from Ricardo Fierro. And Atlanta United 2 will be working from left to right as you're watching here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. And Memphis 901 will be working from right to left as you are watching here in the second half.
Last 25 times Memphis took a lead to the locker room at halftime. They have not lost. 23 out of 25 wins, 2 draws, going all the way back to September of 2020.
Muse looking long. Mikey Ambrose was there. And the Johnny Fortune will go back to Vicente Reyes for Atlanta United 2. Bryce Washington back and forth with Alex DeJohn. Now DeJohn tries to bump Hendwalla Buana off the ball, but Memphis 901 in possession. Down the right-hand side, Laurent Kisiadou. Mikey Ambrose is there defending for Atlanta United 2. Toward the top of the arc, Malloy thought about pulling the trigger. Ball took a hop. That's a deflection, and Reyes well in command there off that early tricky hop.
Malloy with the little hesitation on the right foot, cuts it back to his left. Shot takes a deflection, a little tricky for Reyes. Makes a good save. See an updated score in the first half down in Florida. Orlando and Sacramento still scoreless, 34th minute in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final.
And keep an eye on that one. As long as we are here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, should take you to the latter stages of the second half.
2 former Atlanta United 2 players involved in that one. Jack Gurr got the start for Sacramento. Josh Bauer on the bench for Sacramento.
Buckmaster clears it away. It's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2. Luke Brennan looking for a select soccer ball. Finally does get one. And he's going to be asked by Ricardo Fierro to backtrack about 10 or 15 yards.
Trying to show a little more of that savviness, trying to grab a few yards up the line on the throw.
Nothing wrong with that.
If you can get away with it, you take it.
Vial, pressure from Segrist and Malloy. He's going to stick with Atlanta United 2. Once again, Luke Brennan. Traeger cutting in centrally. Goes to Vial instead. Segrist found to Johnny Fortune. Alex DeJohn. Conway back to Mikey Ambrose. To Highmar. Both Dotson and Kisiadu were there for Highmar, so he went back to Efren Morales instead. Brennan on the right-hand side. Tries to send it inside the 18, deflected. Blocked by Memphis 901. Kisiadu, but Highmar is there to work the ball off of him. Jackson Conway just inside the 18, pulls it out. Comes to Mikey Ambrose now.
Smart from Conway to keep possession.
Ambrose, big sweeping left. Traeger was there, and a foul on Tristan Traeger.
Traeger might have used Graham Smith as a trampoline there just a little bit.
So halfway through the 49th minute here in Kennesaw. See the pressure from Traeger and Conway, and then Trey Muse just waving everybody on. And that means you too, Reese Buckmaster. Morales was there first. Alex DeJohn gets there for the second ball ahead of Laurent Kisiadu. Back to Vicente Reyes. Reyes looking for Traeger. Buckmaster will get there for Memphis 901 to Chris Allen.
Memphis winning those aerial duels and winning the second ball pretty consistently tonight.
Dotson past Highmar. Charges into the attacking half to Malloy. Jeremy Kelly. Segrist inside the 18 with the left up and over everybody. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2 on the far.
Quality of Jeremy Kelly on the ball, holds it long enough for Segrist to make that overlapping run.
DeJohn past Goodrum. Pulled it back, tries to get around Chris Allen, can't do it. Allen can't get away from Jackson Conway, so he'll go Dotson, Buckmaster, and get the return there. With the left looking for the big switch, headed down. Brennan back and forth with Bryce Washington, and Luke Brennan with a move to the inside.
Good strength from Brennan. He's not a big guy, but he uses his body very well to hold off defenders.
Fortune gets away from Handwalla Bwana. Playing advantage here. Goodrum on the charge and in. Past Alex DeJohn, and the hat trick halfway through the 51st. 3 on the board for Memphis 901.
The ultimate advantage being played there as Memphis goes all the way down, takes the advantage, gets the goal. Philip Goodrum completes the hat trick. Thought there might be a second yellow card incoming for Efrain Morales. It looks like he's going to avoid that. Finish from the top of the 18. See the aftermath of the challenge there. But that is such a tough angle shot for Philip Goodrum. It's not easy for him at that spot. He wants that golden boot in the USL Championship this year. Also class from Goodrum, not celebrating against his former team, Atlanta United 2, consistently all night. A lot of friends with this team, Philip Goodrum.
Foul on Jeremy Kelly as Vial wanted to work it into the attacking half. Atlanta United 2 working quickly now. Down 3 with 40 to go. A lot of work to do for Atlanta United 2. DeJohn looking for Traeger. Backline there for Memphis 901. Goes back to the twos.
Malloy a little surprised by that one. Morales went for a header, kind of ducked his head just a little bit. Tricky one for Malloy to deal with.
Ambrose cuts it back to Efren Morales. Vicente Reyes now. Too much for Brennan, headed up into the air. Vial let Bryce Washington get to it. Brennan off of Chris Allen, throw for Atlanta United 2. On the bench for Atlanta United 2 tonight.
Well, we have two subs coming, Tony Tiente and Eric Centeno, so they won't be on the bench any longer.
We'll get to the rest of the numbers coming up in just a little bit. Jeremy Kelly looking for Kisiadu. Will he get there first? Yes, he will. Mikey Ambrose defending. Back to Dotson. Quick passing back to Dotson one more time. He'll go to Kisiadu. Looking for Hendwala Buana. Defended well by Alex DeJohn. Buana tried to work it through with the left, but Atlanta United 2 is there in defense. Highmar tries to get around Malloy. And a foul on Highmar as he got tangled with Malloy on the far touch.
Ben Pierman, the manager for Memphis 901. You mentioned Derek Dodson converting from a forward to a right back. Jeremy Kelly converting from a fullback to a wing position. You're seeing a lot of players move around in this Memphis system, and it's a credit to the work that Ben Pierman's done. 31 wins in one full season. This season is still in progress. A few games in 2020. He's done such a good job of reimagining the way that Memphis plays, and he's created a holistic team. You have players who can play different positions. Reese Buckmaster was a fullback. Now he's playing center back. And you're getting the best out of this group of players. Ben Pierman has created a team in Memphis that is a contender this season to win the East. I don't think they were on anybody's list coming into the year.
In for Atlanta United 2, Eric Centeno and Tony Tiente. And that is the night for Efren Morales. Tiente's first touch challenged by Goodrum. One away by Malloy. Allen chased by Fortune. Now chased by Traeger. Malloy too much for Buana. Alex DeJohn is there. He'll send it back to Vicente Reyes. Looking toward Vial in the middle. Siegrist was there for Memphis 901. Buana now in possession. Allen on the left over to Patrick Siegrist. Quick work. Tiente is there to get there ahead of Hendwala Buana. Last touch by Memphis 901.
Mentioned Memphis as a contender to win the Eastern Conference. Right now, if results hold, they would be 3 points out of the top spot as FC Tulsa has taken an early lead at home against Lou City.
Tiente over to Bryce Washington. Washington looking for Traeger. Dotson is there instead. Mikey Ambrose on the charge, fouled by Laurent Kisiadu.
Two guys who know each other very well. Laurent Kisiadu, a product of the Atlanta United Academy, played here with Atlanta United 2. Atlanta United 2 players constantly mixing in with Atlanta United first team players. First team players joining the twos. Ambrose and Kisiadu have battled in Marietta at the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta training ground many, many times over the years.
Ambrose surveying, it would be with his left. 35 or so out from goal. The whistle by Fierro. Traeger with his hand up. Ambrose through two Memphis defenders. looking for Alex DeJohn. It'll be a goal kick.
Alex is going to want that one back. Mikey Ambrose was able to pick him out on the backside of the play. Aaron Malloy, great set-piece delivery. Mikey Ambrose is not far behind the Irishman.
So Trey Muse once again early in the 58th will send everybody forward. And the request by Ricardo Fierro is fulfilled. Luke Brennan's there. Ball up into the air. It was Allen and Fortune. Bryce Washington is down for Atlanta United 2. He'll get back up. Memphis 901 in possession. Reese Buckmaster to Dotson. Dotson to the inside. Alex DeJohn was there. Ambrose with it now, and he'll go back to Vicente Reyes.
The subs Jack Collison made for Atlanta United 2. Tony Tiente brings a little more steel in the middle of the park, a little more physicality there to help Atlanta win that second ball. And interesting for Luke Brennan to move over to the left as a wing back. Brennan has played wing primarily throughout his academy career. Spent some time as a fullback / wingback in preseason with Atlanta United. Maybe something that Gonzalo Pineda and Carlos Bocanegra would like to see how Brennan handles these situations, being able to play on either side as a wingback.
And once again, reminder the two players that whose nights are done, it's Highmar and Efren Morales, with Tiente coming in and with Eric Centeno coming into the game now.
Opportunity for Centeno to put his mark on this game. He's had some really good performances for Atlanta United too. He's had some somewhat anonymous performances. He's a player who can create opportunities. He's great on the dribble. In this wingback role, he's got to be able to do the job defensively as well. Still a very young player, just 1 year in college at the University of the Pacific. Centeno has a lot of potential that Jack Collison and Atlanta United are trying to bring out of him.
DeJohn, early in the 60th minute, we'll go all the way from left to right to Bryce Washington. Johnny Fortune, Chris Allen on the chase for Memphis 901. Still trying to grab a Johnny Fortune, couldn't do it. Give to Mikey Ambrose.
Excellent work by Johnny Fortune.
Looking for Brennan, too much is there, and Dotson will let it go. Goal kick from Memphis 901. We are at the half at Exploria Stadium in Orlando, and it is goalless between Sacramento Republic and Orlando City as they chase the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup trophy. And Nicholas Firmino is now set to come in for Johnny Vial.
Tough night for Johnny Vial. It's a game that doesn't really suit him. He's the kind of player that when you're in control of possession and you can feed him and give him opportunities to create chances, he's as dangerous as anybody you'll find in the USL Championship. But in a game where you're having to play long and win the second ball, it's not his strong suit. It's good for him to get experience in those games, though, because you have to be able to play through those. He's still very young and kind of learning how to handle those moments.
Pressure from Tristan Traeger. Popped up into the air by Trey Muse. Alex DeJohn now in pursuit. Couldn't gain possession. Philip Goodrin has it for Memphis 901. Well done there by Alex DeJohn to quell that rush. And Alex DeJohn is back down again. Remember, in the first half, he was looking at that right knee. It looks like that's where he's grabbing again.
Yeah, kind of the same area on the outside of the knee. Good refereeing, making sure if he needs the trainer to come on or not. You could see Goodrum kind of came down on it a little bit. Didn't buckle, though, it didn't appear to. But if you're already having some pain there and you have somebody come down on the outside of that leg, that can sting a bit. We'll see if DeJohn can finish this one out. Only one more sub opportunity for Atlanta United, too.
Yeah, on the bench, you've got Nelson Orji, Darwin Mateus, Noah Cobb.
Orji and Cobb can both play in the middle, but only one more opportunity to go to the bench if you're Jack Collison.
Say it was last touched by Mikey Ambrose. Laurent Kissidy working quickly. Goodrum toward the top of the 6th. Out by Atlanta United 2. Into the corner. Firmino to Ambrose. Buckmaster. Jackson Conway with it. Chris Allen with the grab. A foul and a card.
That's the intelligence of Chris Allen, another player that we know very well from his time here in Atlanta. That's a safe foul to commit. It's in the middle third. Yeah, he takes a yellow. He's a smart enough player to be able to play on a yellow and see this out if he needs to. They also have a 3-goal cushion. But Jackson Conway was able to turn, started to get going. Allen just makes sure that's not going to happen, and Atlanta's not going to create a chance out of it.
6th yellow on the year for Chris Allen. Atlanta United 2 with Mikey Ambrose back to Alex DeJohn. Tries to steer away from Goodrum. Not enough on it, and all alone is Handwalla Buana. Buana, Reyes in. Goal number 4.
You saw DeJohn immediately go down after turning to try to play that back to his goalkeeper. He was in a tough spot, and he couldn't get enough on that pass. And Alex DeJohn is still down on the ground. Yeah, now he's grabbing the left leg. Can't tell if it buckled there, but it's a giveaway that Handwalla Buana punishes Atlanta United 2 on. No chance for Reyes to try to get out fast enough to close down that angle. It doesn't look like DeJohn is going to be able to see this one out.
Looks like Noah Cobb might be putting on the jersey over at the Atlanta United 2 bench. Let's take another peek.
He's in a tight spot, tries to cut back on Goodrum. Buana's there too. That's the left foot, ankle, heel.
Is it on that last turn?
Yeah, it's on the turn because that's the way he's turning. That's the plant leg as he's trying to spin around. Seeing Atlanta United this season, we've seen our fair share of injuries across Atlanta United too, and with the first team. And injuries like that have sadly become very common. And non-contact injuries, we've seen our fair share of contact injuries too, but DeJohn just trying to turn. You could see after he turned, he couldn't put any weight on that left leg. Trying to test it a little bit as he gets back to his feet. He's going to be able to walk off under his own power, possibly.
Tries to get some flexing going. He's taking the shoe off.
Yeah, not sure if it's in the foot or the ankle for Alex DeJohn, or possibly the heel, but he was having issues with the right knee earlier, not that long ago, and now it's the other leg that causes him to be subbed. We'll see Noah Cobb come on. Another player that we know very well, Luis Fernando. It's a reunion here with Memphis 901 in town with so many former Atlanta United 2 players.
You see DeJohn walking gingerly off. Nita Pickering will be the other substitute for Memphis 901. And that'll be the night for Aaron Malloy and for Jeremy Kelly. So Luis Fernando and Nita Pickering on, Malloy and Jeremy Kelly off here in the 66th. And Noah Cobb set to replace Alex DeJohn.
Malloy and Kelly have been immense for Memphis, just so strong in creating opportunities, building the play. Malloy is a prime example of why the USL built USL League One. Played last year with forward Madison. Wasn't somebody who was highly thought of coming out of Penn State, and you see his quality this year leading USL Championship in assists. Cobb has not come in yet, so Atlanta United 2 playing with 10. He's up to the fourth official right now, so he'll come in, I think, at this spot.
And the board will go up. Let's get the numbers right. There you go. There it is officially. There's Noah Cobb in for Alex DeJohn.
It's the last sub for Atlanta United 2 tonight.
Noah Cobb in his first touch, center circle to Tony Tiente.
Excited to see Knight Pickering. We'll talk about his story a little bit. Only 4 games so far this season. This is his 5th. He's already got a goal.
Right-hand side, Centeno tries to go past Segrist. Up into the air, Jackson Conway. Bounce. Mikey Ambrose, and saved by Muse.
The educated left foot of Mikey Ambrose nearly finds the back of the net. Big save by Trey Muse.
So Centeno will take the corner, take another look.
Header finds him, chests it down, hits that really well. Muse can't see it at first either.
Toward the penalty spot, Jackson Conway heads it down, defended. Looked like Dotson was the one there for Memphis 901. And Luke Brennan will track it down for Atlanta United 2.
Many, many shouts for a handball as Dotson made that play.
Firmino and Centeno. Noah Cobb down the right. Firmino will track it down ahead of Segrist. Toward Conway, tried to sweep at it with the right, didn't get enough of it, and it goes right to Trey Muse. Goodrum tries to turn that time on Centeno. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2 here, coming up on 20 minutes to go.
Just a giveaway, not under too much pressure. Atlanta United 2 struggling to connect the dots tonight.
Pickering tried to get there before Noah Cobb did. But it'll stick with Memphis 901.
Cobb trying to find his footing coming off the bench. Not really a focused warm-up, although he was warming up. You're not expecting to come in at that moment. He's just got to find the rhythm of the match.
Buana. Back to Dotson, who'll chest it down. Luis Fernando. Kiss you do. Back to number 9. The back and forth continues. Chris Allen has to retreat to track it down. And he'll give to Graham Smith. Segrist on the left. Looking for Pickering. Last touch by Atlanta United 2, and a throw for Memphis 901. Once again, 20 to go, up 4-0. Philip Goodrum, a hat trick on the night, 2 in the first half, 8 minutes apart. Got his 3rd in the 51st minute. And Dwala Buana's first in a Memphis 901 jersey in his 3rd match. It's the 4th one on the board for Memphis 901. Turnover, Chris Allen. Kiss you do. Winds up and it's wide of everything.
The reigning title holders visit in-state rivals as the USL on ESPN2 continues. Orange County SC looks for a late season surge against Sacramento Republic FC Sunday, September 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
And that'll be the night for Philip Goodrum. David Egbo checking in with 20 to go. And that will also be the night for Laurent Kissiadou with 20 to go.
3 goals for Goodrum tonight. That puts him to 17 on the season and definitely makes him a player in the Golden Boot race in the USL Championship with 6 games still left on the docket for Memphis.
So Lucas Turchi checks in, the 6'4" defender. Goodrum and Kissiadou out. And so Lucas Turchi is in, David Egbo is in for Memphis 901 and Ben Pierman.
Turchi's 17th game of the season. His first year in Memphis, played in the German lower divisions the last few years.
Tony Tiente, pressure from behind from Naito Pickering. They're going to call Pickering for the foul.
Mentioned Pickering when he checked in, a product of the FC Dallas Academy. Youngest signing in Memphis 901 history, 17 years old, moved to Dallas from Birmingham, Alabama. Didn't look like he was going to get an opportunity with FC Dallas, or maybe he didn't want to wait any longer. Turns pro, signs the deal with Memphis. You're seeing more of that happen as players, maybe there's a lot of other players in their position at the club that they're at, signing pro deals elsewhere.
Ball over to Eric Centeno. Toward Luke Brennan, headed away by Memphis 901. And a lot of space for Handwalla Buana. Tony Tiente in pursuit. Big switch looking for Luis Fernando. Mikey Ambrose read that well. Johnny Fortune looking for Tristan Traeger. Trey Muse will let it roll inside the 18 and finally pick it up. Here's Buckmaster looking at both Fortune and Brennan. Dotson gives to Luis Fernando. Egbo now back to Buckmaster. And the turn by Egbo and the foul by Fortune.
A little bit of frustration out of a Johnny Fortune. Referee recognizes it, just giving him the warning.
Egbo in his 17th appearance this season for Memphis 901. All but one have come off the bench.
On loan from the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Bryce Washington there to gain possession for Atlanta United 2. Gets it back quickly from Vicente Reyes, looking for Tony Tiente. Segers tried to save it. Back goal kick for Reyes late in the 74th minute. Fortune to his left and Luke Brennan. Mikey Ambrose. Back to Reyes. Noah Cobb. Two hops to Luke Brennan on the left-hand side. He's got support to his left and a Johnny Fortune. That's where he'll go. Fortune toward the penalty spot. Headed down, hit Tristan Traeger, and it ends up bouncing back to Trey Muse.
It's another good sequence from Luke Brennan. He's able to use the dribble to move defenders in front of him. He did that on the go-ahead goal against Tulsa on Saturday. It was his dribble that set up Vial with the opportunity to have open space and deliver the pass through to Conway. But Brennan is so good on the ball, not just at making that pass or not just getting goals, but using the ball to move the defense around. Constantly we think of dribbling as beating the person in front of you. Sometimes it's about moving the defense.
Tony Tiente to Bryce Washington. Pickering in the way. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
Brennan has also moved up the Atlanta United 2 history charts. He's now 5th in terms of minutes played in a regular season by an academy player, passing Caleb Wiley's 2020 season. He'll go over 1,000 minutes easily as an academy player for Atlanta United 2 this season.
Ambrose was looking for Conway. Muse got there first, but he found Tony Tiente. Here comes Atlanta United 2 again. Firmino to Luke Brennan. A little bit of space. Dotson closing for Memphis 901. Back to Mikey Ambrose. Sets it up. Looking far post. Headed down. Flick. Conway wanted to get to it, but getting to it before he did was Lucas Turchi, and away by Memphis 901. And Egbo muscles Bryce Washington off the ball, but it ends up being a throw for Atlanta United 2. Tiente center circle here in the 77th minute. Ambrose gets away from Handwalla Buana. Give to a Johnny Fortune. Up and over, nicely done. Looking for Centeno. Centeno, shot, save, Muse, rebound. Turchi is there for Memphis 901.
Great ball by a Johnny Fortune. to play Eric Centeno, and Centeno has an opportunity to find Jackson Conway on the back post, but he also has the opportunity to go to goal himself. Great right-handed save by Trey Muse. Positioning good. He takes away the near post, and the quick reaction with his right hand to make that save.
Muse sending everyone forward once again. 13 minutes to go, 78th minute.
Second half has just started in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup final between Orlando City and Sacramento Republic. 0-0. Orlando outshot Sacramento 6-1 in the first half. Ben Pierman maybe looking at that scoreboard, but I think he's probably looking at what's going on out in Oklahoma. He's not going to like it because Lou City just equalized against Tulsa.
So we keep an eye on all the action in the Eastern Conference and in Orlando. Win tonight meant that Memphis 901 would be in the playoffs. David Egbo with the shot over his left shoulder. It's wide, and it'll be a goal kick for Atlanta United 2 here in the 79th.
Egbo going for the spectacular there with the right foot.
But Johnny Fortune looking for Centeno. Firmino now. With Buana closing, goes back to Noah Cobb. Mikey Ambrose trying to get away from Luis Fernando. Deflected by Buana, and here comes Memphis 901 again. Chris Allen. Turchi to Dodson. And they'll go all the way back to Trey Muse. Segrist. Buana. Back to Muse again. Graham Smith. Buana was looking for Pickering. It's going to go over to Atlanta United 2 as Nigel Pickering touched it last. Tristan Traeger backtracking. Noah Cobb to Reyes. Luke Brennan on the left. Can't get past Egbo. Back to Mikey Ambrose. We'll try it down the right-hand side with Noah Cobb. Cobb looking for Brennan. Gets control. He's got Mikey Ambrose to his left. That's where he will go. Ambrose in toward the penalty spot. Kicked up into the air, and having to reach up in the air and grab it is Trey Muse.
Memphis making sure that Jackson Conway's not going to get an easy look on goal tonight. Collapsing on him, and Trey Muse has been able to clean everything up in front of him as he tries to nail down his 7th clean sheet of the season.
Chris Allen trying to get away from Nicholas Firmino. Both fighting over it. They're going to get a foul on Firmino.
If you're a fan of the USL Championship, you're going to want to mark down September 23rd on your calendar as Memphis goes to Louisville. That match could decide who wins the Eastern Conference. Outside of that one, Memphis has a very manageable schedule the rest of the way.
The Miami FC is a part of it. RGV is a part of it.
Red Bulls 2, and a finish at Tulsa on October 15th.
One of the easier run-ins in the East. And at the half, we showed where everything was kind of jumbled in positions 2 through 5.
I don't know, this kind of a performance for Memphis puts them a lot closer to that 2 spot in terms of not just the table, but in terms of when you look at the quality of these teams. Memphis is looking like a contender to win the Eastern Conference.
Tristan Traeger coming back from an offside position. Flag went up. Segrist looking for Egbo, and the flag is up on the other end.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app.
Cobb looking for Traeger. Tristan Traeger almost tracked it down. Dotson was there for Memphis 901. Trey Muse is there to grab
just
onto
look
it.
at the shot. Trey Muse is there. 3 defenders are there. Tristan Traeger's there by himself.
Yep.
That's what Atlanta United 2 has been dealing with tonight. Memphis defending high up the field, not letting Atlanta build up the play. Atlanta has to go long, and they're outnumbered.
Centeno back to Bryce Washington. Last touch by Centeno, with both Pickering and Egbo there defending for Memphis 901.
It's a credit to Ben Pierman and his staff that it feels like Memphis is outnumbering Atlanta in every phase of play.
TNT. You mentioned that right there.
Ooh, what
2-on-1
a turn by Fortune.
Great turn by Johnny Fortune. Finds Luke Brennan. Gets away from the double team. Brennan cuts it onto his right foot, cuts it back, launches up and over the bar. I'm going to say it last touched by a Memphis 901 FC defender, so it'll be a corner here in the 84th, halfway through for Atlanta United 2.
So exciting to see the development of Luke Brennan, still only 17 years old. He's played in 22 games this year, part of the U.S. Youth National Team pool based on his play this year. Nearly a golazo on that dribbling run.
Tristan Traeger, in-swinger with the right toward the 6th. Headed up into the air by Memphis 901. It will be a throw for Atlanta United 2 now on the near side.
Couldn't quite pick out the best option. It was a good run from Jackson Conway to the near post. Overshot him just a little bit.
Centeno looking toward the penalty spot, up into the air. Clash of heads.
Head-to-head collision. Referee immediately stops play. It's going to be a tricky restart because it should be Atlanta's ball right at the top of the 18. But referees in these moments are trained to stop the play so players can get checked. Might have been a little quick in this one, as it's Smith and Washington who do collide, but they go down holding their head. Referee immediately blows that whistle. Both players are okay. But this restart's going to be tricky because you saw where that ended up. It's Tristan Traeger at the top of the 18. Unless a foul was called, and that might be the way to avoid that tricky restart.
So let's see what Ricardo Fierro has here.
It's a much less tricky restart in a 4-0 game. If this is a 0-0 game, a 1-1 game, a 1-goal game, you're going to have some serious arguments because he didn't call a foul in that moment. He blew the whistle because of the clash of heads. Unless he was calling a foul at the same time. But 4-0 game, it's okay.
Egbo and Noah Cobb. Back to Chris Allen. Allen dribbling away from both Firmino and Jackson Conway. It goes all the way back to Trey Muse again. Center circle, Noah Cobb heads it down, looking for Tristan Traeger, finds him. Traeger, great command there with the chip in toward the top of the 6, deflected and right into the hands of Trey Muse.
Muse has had to have his head on a swivel tonight, even with balls bouncing off of his defenders in front of him. And he's still making the play. Spent 3 years with the Seattle Sounders. Couldn't displace Stephen Fry. Moves over to Loudoun United and gets loaned to Memphis this season. Really making a name for himself, Trey Muse.
Egbo got command of the big second hop. Kept possession for Memphis 901. I'm going to say it was last touched by Naita Pickering. And another substitution for Memphis 901.
Jackson Brady, the New Zealand native, checking in. His rookie year as a professional. Played in college at Cal Poly and at Memphis. Also a former New Zealand youth international. His 4th appearance of the season here tonight.
And that'll be the night for Handwalla Bwana. Got his first goal in a Memphis 901 FC jersey tonight.
Bwana has shown some flashes of the ability that Seattle fans saw in him in 3 years. Nashville brought him in. It just hasn't been consistent game to game for Bwana.
Bryce Washington with Brady closing there. Tiente from Centeno to Firmino. Firmino, Centeno, and back to Bryce Washington.
Talked about Ben Pierman and moving pieces around and creating players in new positions and how that's worked so well this season. Bringing players in on loan has also been another element of Memphis's success. Getting Bwana, getting Muse, such a smart way to add a little extra depth and be able to fill in the gaps for your team.
Looks like another foul is called on Johnny Fortune. Welcoming Jackson Brady to the match. As we're here in the 89th minute, Memphis, 2 goals in 8 minutes from Philip Goodrum. Goodrum got his hat trick, natural hat trick, completed by the 51st. Bwana got a goal in the 64th, and that's where we are. Johnny Fortune. Deflected by Chris Allen. Looking for Brady. Brady kept it in, but a foul on Brady as he and Eric Centeno collided a little bit.
Brady kind of ran over Centeno from behind. Set piece opportunity for Atlanta United 2.
Working too quickly. So it's a second chance for Atlanta United 2 here with Tristan Traeger. A lot of folks perched at the top of the 18. Let's see what happens with Traeger. Big right, looking far post. Firmino tried to pull the trigger with the right, and Trey Muse will keep it from going over the end line, and he'll just hang on to it for a little while. And a little while longer before he scoops it up.
Last scoreboard checks of the night for us. Tulsa and Lou City, first half stoppage time 1-1. And down in Orlando, U.S. Open Cup final, still scoreless, 58-minute. Sacramento Republic hanging tough with Orlando City.
I got a feeling that one might go for a while.
Very, very possible in a final.
Looks like we're going to get 2 minutes added. Foul there by Memphis 901. So Bryce Washington back to Noah Cobb and over to Vicente Reyes.
With this win, Memphis will go to 5-1-3 all-time against Atlanta United 2.
Tiente to Luke Brennan. Nice bit of work there by Luke Brennan to Nicholas Firmino. Firmino with the left looking far post. Too much for Jackson Conway.
Not a ton of highlights for Atlanta United 2 tonight, but Luke Brennan's overall performance is the highlight. Mentioned that mark of getting to 5th on the all-time list. He's going to climb higher before the year's over in terms of minutes played by an academy player in a season, but it's the quality of the performance that keeps getting him those minutes. Luke Brennan is one to watch for a future homegrown signing for Atlanta United.
About a minute to go here before Ricardo Fierro blows the final whistle. Dominant performance tonight by Memphis 901. Luis Fernando will grab it on the hop. Headed away by Bryce Washington. Centeno to a Johnny Fortune. Fortune's pass intercepted. Turchi to Luis Fernando. Fernando wanted to set up that left. Bryce Washington muscles him out of the 18. Back to Egbo and Chris Allen. Dotson. Over to Turchi. Knifed Pickering. Turchi decides to send it in, and it's easily picked up by Vicente Reyes. And that'll do it. Full points for Memphis, 901, as Ricardo Fierro blows his whistle. Memphis 901 FC solidifies their shot in the postseason in the Eastern Conference.
Big performance from Philip Goodrum. Overall, team performance from Memphis, outstanding. One of the best we've seen in the USL Championship this season. Memphis 901 is going to have a lot to say about who the #1 seed is in the Eastern Conference in 2022.
So when we come back to Kennesaw, we'll put a bow on this one. Ben Pierman offering his hand to anybody that he'll find. Dominant performance, Philip Goodrum with the hat trick. Memphis 901 FC, 4 on the board, 3 points. We'll come back to Kennesaw to put a bow on it after this.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
Welcome back to Kennesaw one final time. Memphis, 4 goals, 3 points. Man of the match for Atlanta United 2, presented by our friends at Piedmont Orthopedics. Number 27, Bryce Washington.
Bryce Washington really good with the ball tonight. 52 out of 56 on his passes. That's 2 straight games, passing over 90%. Defensively, 2 interceptions, 1 tackle. But his ability on the ball is really picking up over these last few games, and it's essential for a defender for Atlanta United to be able to play out of the back.
So let's take a look at our final stats here over 90 minutes, and here's the grid. 19 shots for Memphis 901.
It's just a dominant performance from Memphis, showing their quality. They controlled the possession. They controlled where the game was being played. They're defending high up the field, forced Atlanta to turn the ball over and really get into the kind of match that they're going to struggle in. Memphis bossed this match really from the opening whistle.
Let's take a look at the remaining schedule. Most of the remaining schedule for Memphis 901 will start with them. You mentioned that run-in. That is manageable.
That's very manageable. It's the trip to Louisville that will be fascinating. I want to see that matchup between 2 top teams, and I want to see how Memphis handles that on the road. But you go to Miami, okay, that's a tough one. Memphis can win that on the road. You get home games with Charleston, RGV, and Red Bulls too. Those are all winnable. Memphis has the potential, even with that last game at Tulsa, they could win out.
On the flip side for Atlanta United 2, 4 matches left in the season. Next home match is in 3 weeks.
Looking forward to a strong performance against Indy 11 in the home finale in the USL Championship.
That is it for this 3-match homestand for Atlanta United 2. Dominant performance by Memphis 901 FC. Philip Goodrum returns to Kennesaw, gets a hat trick. It is goals 15, 16, and 17 for him on the year. For everybody here at Kennesaw, I'm John Nelson. For Jason Longshore, my partner, thanks for hanging out with us however you have done so tonight. It's been the USL Championship on ESPN+. Play it safe, everybody. We'll see it back here in 3 weeks' time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.